In the heart of downtown Fresno, California, stands the Meux Museum, a beautifully preserved Victorian mansion that seems frozen in time. Built in 1888 by Dr. Thomas Meux, a Civil War veteran, the house is an architectural gem with its ornate woodwork, stained glass windows, and period furnishings. By day, it's a place where visitors can step back into the 19th century, but by night, it's said to be the site of something far more sinister. For years, whispers of strange occurrences have surrounded the Meux. Guides and visitors alike have reported feeling an inexplicable chill as they walk through its grand halls, hearing faint whispers that seem to come from nowhere, and even seeing ghostly figures out of the corner of their eye. Most dismiss these experiences as tricks of the mind, but those who know the house's history aren't so sure. One such believer was Emily, a young history enthusiast who volunteered as a tour guide at the museum. She loved the old house, with its creaky floors and antique charm, but she couldn't ignore the unsettling atmosphere that seemed to creep in as the sun began to set. The other guides had warned her not to stay after dark, but she brushed off their concerns as mere superstition. That is, until one fateful evening. It was late October, and the museum had just closed after a busy day of tours. Emily was the last one left, finishing up some paperwork in the small office on the first floor. The house was eerily silent, the kind of silence that amplifies every creak and groan of an old building. As she worked, she heard what sounded like faint footsteps above her, coming from the second floor. At first, she thought it might be one of the other guides, but she quickly remembered that she was alone. The footsteps grew louder, moving from room to room, as if someone or something was pacing the halls. Emily's heart began to race, but she tried to calm herself. Old houses make noises, she whispered to herself, though she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Deciding to investigate, Emily grabbed a flashlight and cautiously made her way up the grand staircase. The second floor was dimly lit, with shadows cast by the antique furniture that filled each room. As she reached the top of the stairs, the footsteps abruptly stopped. The silence was deafening. She slowly moved through the hallway, peering into each room. Everything seemed to be in order, nothing out of place. But as she reached the door to Dr. Meux's old study, she felt a cold breeze brush past her, despite the fact that all the windows were tightly shut. The door creaked open, revealing the dark room beyond. Inside, the air was thick, heavy with the scent of old books and dust. The room was exactly as it had been left over a century ago, with Dr. Meux's desk still cluttered with papers and his favorite chair positioned by the fireplace. Emily stepped inside, her footsteps echoing on the wooden floor. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind her, plunging the room into darkness. Emily's breath caught in her throat as she fumbled for her flashlight, her hands shaking. When she finally managed to turn it on, the beam of light revealed something that made her blood run cold. There, sitting in the chair by the fireplace, was the faint outline of a man. His features were indistinct, like a figure seen through a foggy window, but Emily could make out the glint of spectacles and the outline of a long coat. The figure sat motionless, as if waiting for something or someone. Emily's mind raced, every instinct telling her to run, but her feet felt glued to the floor. The figure slowly turned its head toward her, and though its face was shrouded in shadow, she felt its gaze pierce through her. Without thinking, Emily bolted for the door, yanking it open and racing down the stairs. She didn't stop until she was outside, gasping for breath in the cool night air. The museum's exterior was quiet and still, a stark contrast to the terror she had just experienced inside. The next day, when she returned to the museum, she found the study exactly as it had been, no signs of anything unusual. But Emily knew what she had seen, and she never stayed at the Meux Museum after dark again. Word of her encounter spread among the staff and visitors, and the stories of the haunting only grew. Some said it was the spirit of Dr. Meux, still watching over his beloved home. Others believed it was something darker, an echo of the past that refused to rest. To this day, the Meux Museum remains a place of beauty by day, but those who know its secrets say that when the sun goes down, the spirits of the past come out to roam the halls, making sure the house and its stories are never forgotten. This story captures the eerie and mysterious atmosphere of the Meux Museum, blending history with elements of the supernatural to create a classic ghost story. Hey everyone! Just wanted to give a big thank you to all of you for watching and supporting my content. Your likes, shares, and subscriptions mean the world to me. If you're enjoying what you see, don't forget to hit that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe for more awesome content. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.